Welcome to Whispers from Eden, where we uncover the shadows behind the sacred, the rituals hidden in plain sight, and the spirits that answer when the veil is opened. Today, we're not just watching a movie, we are opening a case file. Case Third Eye Ritual. This file examines the 2013 Third Eye, but we're looking beyond the jump scares. We're reframing this story through the lens of spiritual gateways, ancestral hauntings, and the dangers of awakening a sight not meant for the living. They told her the third eye was a gift. They didn't warn her what would stare back. The film introduces us to Mylene, a young woman haunted by visions she can't control. As a child, her grandmother performs a ritual to seal her third eye, shielding her from the spirit world. But years later, driven by a family tragedy, Mylene's husband convinces her to have it reopened. This is our first point of investigation, the ritual itself. In many esoteric traditions, the third eye, or Ajna chakra, is considered the gateway to higher consciousness. It's the seat of intuition, the bridge between the physical and the metaphysical. But why do some cultures, like the one depicted in the film, forbid its opening? The belief is that a forced or unprepared awakening doesn't just let you see spirits, it lets them see you. It's like opening a door in a dangerous neighborhood without knowing who or what is waiting outside. You become a beacon, a lighthouse for entities adrift in the ether, both benevolent and malevolent. This brings us to the entities that attach themselves to the newly awakened. Once Mylene's sight is restored, her world is flooded. She sees not just the lingering dead, but something far more predatory. The film portrays these spirits as territorial and often violent, a common theme in paranormal lore. When a psychic gate is flung open, it can attract what are known as parasitic entities. These are beings that feed on fear, sorrow, and life force. They see a newly opened third eye not as a window, but as a dinner bell. Mylene's gift immediately becomes a curse, as she's unable to differentiate between a harmless ghost and a demonic entity with a sinister agenda. She lacks the spiritual training, the psychic shielding, necessary to navigate this treacherous new reality. Her vision is an open wound, and the spiritual predators are drawn to the scent of blood. Now, let's look at the parallels to spiritual sight in other traditions, including biblical and apocryphal texts. The concept of seeing into the spirit realm is not unique to Eastern mysticism. Prophets and seers are described throughout ancient scriptures as having a form of spiritual sight. Think of Elisha in the second book of Kings, who prayed for his servant his eyes to be opened so he could see the heavenly armies surrounding them. This was a divine gift, granted for a specific purpose. The danger, as warned in many texts, comes from seeking this sight for personal gain or through forbidden means. Divination and communing with spirits were often strictly prohibited, seen as an invitation for deception from entities masquerading as something they are not. Third Eye taps into this ancient fear, that by prying open a door God has closed, you are not inviting angels, but their opposites. Another critical element is the idea of psychic inheritance. Mylene's ability wasn't random, it was passed down through her bloodline. Her grandmother had the same sight. This concept is found in cultures all over the world. Spiritual gifts, or curses, are believed to be carried in the family lineage. It suggests that some families are more spiritually porous than others, their members naturally more attuned to the veil between worlds. In Mylene's case, her grandmother understood the burden of this inheritance and tried to protect her from it. But a bloodline trait can't be so easily erased. It lies dormant, waiting for a trigger. The reopening ritual didn't create the ability. It simply reawakened what was already inscribed in her spiritual DNA, along with all the ancestral attachments that might come with it. Finally, we must consider the unseen cost of perceiving the dead. The film shows us the terror, the jump scares, but the true cost is deeper. It's the psychological erosion, the constant state of hypervigilance, the inability to trust your own senses. Mylene's life unravels. Her relationships crumble, and her sanity is pushed to the brink. This is the tragic reality for many who claim to have this ability. The world of the dead is a world of unresolved trauma, pain, and regret. To be a constant witness to that, without any way to help or escape, is an unbearable psychological burden. The gift of sight becomes a prison of sorrow. This is not a movie review. This is a forbidden case study, a warning etched in celluloid. It reminds us that there are doors that should remain locked, and that sometimes the greatest wisdom is not in seeing more, but in choosing not to look. Thank you for joining us in the shadows here at Whispers from Eden. If you've been intrigued by this case file, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Until then, be careful what you wish to see.